Wreck My Podcast.
This week we talk about Captain Marvel because we're a bunch of basic Americans and we're also looking for that clickbait. Beware, we're gonna spoil the heck out of this thing. Join us on this week as we see if this is the first Marvel movie to wreck the franchise.
Wreck My Podcast.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No.
It's Cam streaking.
It's Cam streaking with weird things flying off of his body.
Yeah.
We're talking about Captain Marvel today. We have our beautiful picture here. Tiny itty bitty Brie Larson picture on the screen. I thought that's funny.
That's what everyone called me in high school.
Yeah, tiny itty bitty Brie Larson. I'm here with my guest. He owns two Flurkins. It's Cam Molidor.
Yes, I do.
Goose was his nickname in high school. It's Krager. He also doesn't like to guess where to shove things. It's Joe Kubis. And he doesn't get that at all because Joe didn't watch the movie.
Hey.
If I had a pilot call sign, it would be Googly Eye McGee. I am your host, Jordan. We're all here. We're talking about things.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the movie minus Joe?
I really liked it. I thought it was excellent.
How do you like that trailer, Joe?
I don't even think I've seen the trailer.
Oh my God.
I think that this movie was really, really fun.
Yes.
It was
fun.
so fun.
Fun. I like it. The good F word.
I really enjoy it because I feel like Marvel has their own like kind of brand where it's like serious, a little bit serious, a lot of action,
Yeah.
a little bit like
Hints of comedy.
More I think more overtones of comedy, but like somewhat subtle, but somewhat in your
It's like a
face.
difference between a skosh and a pinch.
Yeah, but like they very much could like be.
Just a
I am what I am.
So I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, my Popeye impression ruined
I thought
it.
you remind me of those Sesame Street like.
Yeah.
So no, I feel like with
just started
Marvel they
already
can
off the rails.
easily like overdo it or make it would become old, but they do a new way of doing it each time where it's like it's a little bit new, a little bit fresh. It's somewhat similar but not too much.
It's kind of like my sex life.
A little bit new, little bit fresh.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying is a bit broad, but like it's always something enjoyable and like you see some stuff coming, but you don't see everything coming.
Yeah. So what I thought was, from an unbiased standpoint, I thought it was middle of the road Marvel film. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was great. However, it was a lot of fun, like you said. But
fun.
because they did a mixture of pretty much Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain America, kind of mix the two together, the cosmic idea of it, I'm a sucker for sci-fi.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I was all in because I'm like, dude, I love when they go to space and do space
Me too.
stuff.
Yes, the
And I
best.
love, too, when Earth is called C-53.
Same.
Like, not even Earth.
What is your
right.
favorite Marvel movie?
My favorite would be, it's a little, that's hard. Guardians, Winter Soldier, and Doctor Strange are my top three.
Okay.
My favorite is Into the Spider-Verse.
But see, I'm not counting that in the Marvel
Cinematic
MCU.
In the MCU.
Yeah.
Then I would say...
Because if we were saying everything, I'd be like Ben Affleck, Daredevil.
Mine is Topher Grace, Venom.
Venom, yes.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. You gonna give us the answer?
can't
Kim?
remember,
Can't
yeah.
think of it. No. Okay. So, guys, this was released 2 weeks ago on March 8th. Opening weekend, they made $153 million domestically.
Wow.
They made another $70 million this past weekend.
Wow.
And currently, they're sitting at $760 million internationally for box office.
That's
2 weeks.
That's a
Wow.
large number.
2 weeks. So, all the SGW people out there,
Yeah.
all the haters, you didn't stop this movie.
No.
The budget was an estimated 152 to 175 million. I had a few conflicting articles I read, so it's
That's a
somewhere
high
in that
number.
range.
That is high.
For what they made, though, I mean, they
Yeah.
made that back in the first weekend domestically. Like, come on.
I mean, come on.
If you don't know, here are some of the actors. We have Miss Brie Larson. She's from things. Here's some things I didn't know she was
She's
in. That
from things.
she's from things that I didn't know I forgot she was in. Trainwreck. She was in.
Yep.
She was in a few episodes of The League.
Yep.
She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, yeah.
She was in 13 Going on
Oh, she was
30.
Scott Pilgrim.
She
Are
played
you
Envy.
kidding me?
Yeah, Envy.
His
the
ex,
girl
that's
he-
the singer.
Yeah.
I remember.
the ex, the lesbian.
Of the Clash at Demon
No,
Head.
not
Yeah.
not
Oh, I thought it
one.
was.
No.
The ex
Yeah.
who sings
Yeah,
for Clash.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one who
that's
does
the funniest part.
the
Is
metric.
Scott
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah, the
Pilgrim
best-
dated
did it better than
Captain
Metric.
Marvel
Yeah, did it way
and
better
than
who
Metric.
also dated Superman.
Yeah. Brie Larson dated Superman?
Her character in that movie was dating the actor who played Superman.
You're right, Brandon Roth. I forgot about him. And then she was in 13 Going on 30,
Yep.
and she was also in Kong Skull Island. So those are a few things I forgot
And
she was in.
She got her break on United States of Terra, one of my favorite TV shows ever.
Yeah.
Did you also forget to mention 21 Jump Street?
Was she in that? I don't remember
She was
her
a
being in
major
that.
character in that movie.
Brie Larson
She was the love interest of Jonah Hill in that movie.
Well, there you go. Brie Larson was in 21 Jump Street, too. I must have missed that one.
I don't remember that either.
We have
How do you guys
Samuel
remember
L.
that?
Jackson. Everyone knows him from things like Black Snake Moan. And no, he's literally like, if you don't know who Samuel
Snakes on
L.
a Plane?
Jackson is, you haven't watched a movie.
Have you seen any movie ever?
Yeah, any
He's
movie
the black
ever.
guy.
He's It's either him or Morgan Freeman. It's one of the
That's
two.
it, yeah.
We have Ben Mendelsohn, who played Talos. He was the main scroll
Which
in it.
I have to break you up real quick.
Break me up with my wife.
Yeah, no, I got you. So I was telling Cam, I think one of the most ingenious casting choices I've ever seen recently is they took a prominent bad guy from a movie that came out within the last year, and they made him a character who you're supposed to think is a bad guy who ends up being a good guy.
Yeah.
That was so meta for them to do that.
It was good. He plays a bad guy in almost everything he's in.
I know,
like
and
Rogue One,
and
Ready Player One,
and
a lot of ones.
Yeah, so when you see him, you're like, oh, he's a bad guy.
Yep.
And then they told that for me, I just freaking.
It was kind of
loved.
cool too because when he was playing Talos as his scroll body, he used his natural Australian accent, and then when he played Ben Mendelsohn as the human, being the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever, he used his American accent.
Yeah,
so I
which
thought that
is
was like
awesome.
fun that they did that.
I just got to give it up to the casting director.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of that. I'm sure that wasn't everything that went into it, but I thought that was really, really well done. Because to the average person, they're going to be like, oh, I've seen him as a bad guy in a lot of
He's
things.
probably a bad guy.
Yeah, and then it worked so.
See, it did the
perfectly.
opposite thing for me. Is that I called from the very beginning that they were going to do a switcheroo of who was the bad guy and who was the good guy. Only because I knew Jude Law was Yon-Rogg.
Yeah, and he had yellow eyes.
Yeah, well, I know that Yon-Rogg is a foe of Captain Marvel, and when I knew Jude Law was playing Yon-Rogg, or was most likely going to play, I was like, all right, they're going to play up the idea. She doesn't remember her past. The good guy's the bad guy. The bad guy's the good guy.
See,
I knew they were going to go for that.
That's why I'm so happy I'm not well versed in the comic book.
Yeah, it
universe.
does help you
I
protect you from some stuff.
I enjoy being surprised.
Yeah, so like I said, Jude Law was in this. He played Yon-Rogg. He's from Talented Mr. Ripley, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and a bunch of other really great movies. We had Clark Gregg reprising his role as Agent Coulson, which was fun.
That was great.
Yeah, you guys remember he was in 500 Days of Summer?
No, I don't remember a minute.
Yeah, he is the guy who works in the card company that Joseph Gordon-Levitt works for. And when they're doing the round table, he's like the boss.
Oh, okay.
Who asks them, and he's like, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt said everything sucks, everything so he says the snarky one, and
I
Clark Gregg's
remember now.
maybe come back with a different one.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. We have Lee Pace coming back as Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah,
played
which
his
is
role
cool.
for a little bit, so that was kind of a cool
Nice.
callback. And then we had Annette Bening, who played Lawson and Marvell. You know her from American Beauty and The Kids Are All Right. She is a pretty prominent dramatic actor, so
Yeah.
it was kind of cool they snagged her for this role. That was nice. So those are the majority of the actors. There's a lot of other ones, but I just wanted to hit on the most famous ones or the most prominent ones there. Rotten Tomatoes gave this, we got a critic review of 79% right now, and it's sitting at an audience score of 62%, which is very, very low
That is
for
low.
Marvel. Now, this is a good segue to talk about the whole the Brie Larson backlash on Rotten Tomatoes and how this pretty much reshaped how Rotten Tomatoes and how
Right,
critic viewing
right.
is going. So, full transparency here, guys. Everything that I'm about to talk about, I don't know about you guys, but I've pulled from certain news articles and stories I've heard. I haven't done a full deep dive of research into exactly everything that went into this whole situation that happened. So people listening, if I say something incorrect, I may possibly say something incorrect. So don't crucify me if it is incorrect here. But apparently
He's allergic to wood.
I am allergic to wood, so I would love a fiberglass cross. So Brie Larson mentioned in her press junkets as they were promoting, just be careful because that
Yeah, I can hear it.
you
I'm
can
so-
hear it.
I
Yeah,
apologize, audience.
that one's a very, very loud microphone stand.
I'm sorry.
Getting back to the point at hand here. So Brie Larson mentioned kind of an anti-male, or what was taken as an anti-male. I'm using quotation marks. I'm going to be very ironic in this statement here. An anti-male sentiment during her publicity tour. They got social justice warriors boycotting, giving poor Rotten Tomato scores to the movie before it even came out.
Right.
This was not an anti-male sentiment at all. I don't have the specific quote, but essentially what she said was, I wish there were more minorities and women in media and journalism, and she wanted to be able to give people the priority for her press junkets and stuff, because she knows that our society is still mostly ran by white males, you know, like that's kind of how it is. And we're working to get past that. We're making huge strides. Black Panther was a big hit there. We have a lot of this stuff like paving the way to get, but it's still not gone.
Yeah, exactly. We are 4 males on a show.
Yeah, I know. We are 4 males, 3 white. 1 pretty much white.
White adjacent.
White adjacent, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something, Cam, so I was leaving the floor for you.
There's literally nothing wrong with that statement.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Or that sentiment at all.
No.
And also, continue, Cam.
I was going to say, like, man, God forbid, like, one white guy didn't get what he wanted.
Seriously, though.
Yeah.
So they threw a temper tantrum and essentially had people saying they were going to boycott the movie and went on Rotten Tomatoes giving terrible reviews. This was like 2 weeks before the movie came out. So Rotten Tomatoes said, and was like...
What did I say?
That's what a tomato sounds like.
Was not going to let this happen. So they said, screw you people, shut it down, said you are now no longer allowed to review a movie until it has come out, which should have been a thing all to begin with. I mean, that's no doubt. And now I think that they're actually putting safeguards in place to monitor responses by the audience to make sure.
I'm really happy because like I've learned in the past like year or two, I don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes at all.
I don't either, because it's just like
totally
Yelp.
biased.
When you go on and you see like a place that you love has like a 2.5 stars, and then you start reading some of the 1-star reviews that were saying, I've said this before, it was a Friday night right after Thanksgiving and I had to wait 30 minutes. Or they gave them a 1-star review, like, no, duh, like, come on.
I showed up 15 minutes late to my reservation and they gave it away.
Exactly. So like, you
Food was
can't
great.
trust these. Yeah, food was great. 1 star.
Yeah.
You can't trust these reviews. For a 62, I think, like I said, I thought this was a middle-of-the-road Marvel movie, but a middle-of-the-road, I think, at least 75%.
Yeah, I'd give it a 75.
At least 75%.
No, yeah, it was
80.
really enjoyable.
Yes. So...
what would you give it, Joe?
I don't know. I felt like it was at an 80.
80, yeah.
It wasn't over the top, but, you know,
He's like,
it was
movie
there.
was a 60, Brie Larson's body, 80.
69.
69.
Oh my god.
Movie was a 60, Brie Larson, 69.
So there was a quote by Clark Gregg that he did recently with Nerdist that I loved. And the quote was pretty much when they asked him, hey, what do you think about this thing where everyone's saying Brie Larson hates white dudes? And Clark Gregg said, there are people who get very bent out of shape about the fact that she's a woman and that Brie's a woman and wants to see a woman moving into an equal place in humanity to men. It must be sad to be that kind of dinosaur wandering towards the tar pits.
Yeah.
Boom, slap in the face, like so outdated. Perfect. And people before she even said that were really hating on this movie, saying, wow, she's not in good enough shape. Yeah. Wow, she's a woman.
Are you kidding me?
They're saying she's a woman. She can't rival like some of the other heroes. How is she supposed to be the most like strong one and she looks like this? I'm like, that doesn't matter. That's the point of Captain Marvel. That's the point of like Shazam. Shazam is very similar to Captain Marvel. That a boy, someone farted in here.
It wasn't
me.
Maybe it was me. This boy could turn into this crazy superhero. Like, that is the point.
Right. The
That
point
is
is that she's a strong woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
it.
So frustrating.
Actually, I have a little fun fact regarding Shazam and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, tell me.
So, Marvel is actually an important character to know. I'm just going to read this verbatim.
It's 2 words, right? Not Marvel.
M-A-R.
Marvel.
V-E-L. Is actually an important character to know, as he is the original Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
His origin goes back to 1967 when he was created by Stan Lee. However, it starts
Who?
to get Stan Lee.
I'm just kidding.
God bless America. It starts to get tricky from there, as he is technically the only the original Captain Marvel in the Marvel Universe. There was a hero created by Fawcett Comics back in the 1940s with the same name, who would later be bought by DC.
Mm-hmm.
They kept the name for as long as they could, but after a lengthy legal dispute, Marvel changed it to Shazam.
You mean DC changed it to Shazam?
No, it says Marvel. I'm sorry. DC changed after a lengthy dispute. They
allowed
Marvel to Shazam.
Yeah, to keep Captain. Well, they didn't allow. It was like it was in their best interest to just change it up.
So yeah, DC's Captain Marvel became Shazam.
Exactly. Yes.
That's cool.
And it's interesting too that in this movie, Dr. Lawson, who's a woman, was Marvel.
Yeah.
And in the comics, which is I love that they did that, but in the comics it's a guy. It's a man who had that explosion happen with a Kree close by, and his Kree that DNA and his body got fused together. So it's similar but also different.
Yeah, and then this one, it was a woman that was already Kree.
Yeah.
That took Brie Larson out. She absorbed all the energy from that like hyperspace reactor.
Yeah.
And then got Kree blood transfusion
later by Yon-Rogg, which is interesting because now they're saying in the Marvel universe or the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe that Carol Danvers is the original Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Where in the comics, Marvel is the original Captain Marvel, and Danvers is like the third or fourth person to get the powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting. They're taking some liberties.
It works.
I like
cool.
it.
Whatever.
I like it though. I'm fine with it.
Works for me.
So let's talk about the movie a little bit. So guys, that ode to Stan Lee.
Amazing.
Joe.
Oh, it was amazing.
No, seriously though.
It nearly brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. You know the Marvel logo, how they always start with like the comic book stuff? All of it was Stan Lee and his cameos and like his interviews and stuff.
Nice.
And then it just says after that goes, "Thank you, Stan Lee." Or just "Thank you, Stan," I think it said.
Thank you, Stan.
And then it went into the movie.
I'm getting goosebumps.
And I got goosebumps too, and everyone in my theater started clapping.
Yeah,
it was
same.
Stan Lee is like
And when he had
immortal.
his cameo in it, there were people in the audience that just went like, "Oh," like
Yeah, 'cause it's the
it
last
was a
one.
little heartbreaking to see him.
It's like gonna probably be the last one.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good cameo though.
Great cameo.
He was reading the script for Mallrats
Yeah.
that he's in, and he was like reciting his lines
Yeah,
and
that's
everything.
cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. The music. Can I take a second to talk about the music in this? That 80s synth that they got going on with like the Avengers music.
Yep.
That was so cool.
It was so
it really just transported me into this movie.
Absolutely.
and
I
all
loved
of
it.
the 90s hits
Oh.
that were in it.
The-
That fight scene with the Just a Girl.
I'm just a
so
girl.
good. Yo, she like looks up and it's like ding ding ding
Yeah.
ding.
Oh,
and I was like,
nice. Yeah.
"Oh."
Dude.
Like, I actually I audibly went, "Yes."
Yeah. Seriously,
And I had to look at him and go, shh.
they specifically picked music where almost all the songs they picked from the 90s were female-led
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah, it was
Nice,
awesome.
great.
Yeah, we got Garbage. We got
I'm only happy when it rains.
yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And then we got No Doubt. We got TLC.
Yeah,
We
I
got
forgot-
a whole
I forgot
yeah.
TLC was
yeah,
in there.
Samuel Jackson's driving
Yeah.
and listening to No Scrubs.
That's right. Yeah, I totally forgot. And wasn't someone listening to Waterfalls at one point too?
I think Waterfalls did come on.
I think it came out. It was like playing on the radio somewhere too.
Yeah.
So good, so good. Love it. I also love all the callbacks, or would it be call forwards of
forward.
like
Allusions
to like things we've seen in past ones, but like technically or in the future to when this is set because it's supposed to be set in 1995.
Right.
So that was kind of fun.
I love the part where she crashes through the Blockbuster, right? And then obviously it's awesome. But then she goes out and she talks to the security guard and she's like, where can I get stuff for communications? And he just points and the camera pans over and it's a Radio Shack.
I know, which is here's where I'm gonna wreck it for you. So she says that she's getting things from Radio Shack to create a communication device to set up, and she has a Game Boy that she's like taking parts out of. Radio Shack never sold Game Boys.
Never sold Game Boys.
So
Could've
there's
found-
your first inconsistency.
Could have found one there that
Maybe-
someone left behind.
Could have, maybe, yeah, like
maybe she went back into Blockbuster and got one.
Blockbuster
Blockbuster didn't sell Game Boys
They
either.
sold Game Boy games. Just go with it.
I actually don't know if Blockbuster ever had Game Boy games as ones you could
Just
rent.
I don't think they
go with
did.
it. I think they did.
Did they? I don't remember Game Boy games.
Part of my mind thinks
I'm pretty
I did.
sure Blockbuster didn't have video games to rent until like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just movies for the majority of the time.
Well,
Yeah.
Anyway,
just-
and did
just
you
let
like
me
too
have
that
this
she
one.
shot the cardboard cutout of Arnold Schwarzenegger from True Lies?
Yes.
And that's a nice allusion to like her life has been a lie.
Right,
Like,
right,
I'm
yeah.
like, fun. We'll get to the fun fact on that later. Actually, I'll tell you right now. So the cardboard cutout that she shoots in the Blockbuster was originally supposed to be Jim Carrey from The Mask, with Carol mistaking the green face for a scroll, but the filmmakers couldn't secure the rights for it, so they had to go
I have a
with
quick question. Did
Arnold
anyone
Schwarzenegger.
catch what movie she picked up in the
Yeah.
Blockbuster? I couldn't see.
I can't remember the name, but the movie is about 7 jet fighter pilots who are the first people to go to space. Something with right in the title. It's all right. Right to flight, flight right, something like
Oh,
that.
Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee?
No, actually, no, hang
not
on.
Do
No,
the
no,
Right
that's
Thing.
not do the right thing. But right is in it, and it's something like, damn it. Look, someone look it up.
Yeah, I got it.
It'll be an easy
Right
look up.
Wing.
No, but I do know that it's a movie that's also an allusion to like her being a jet fighter pilot, and that's funny she picked that one up because it's about jet fighter pilots. I think from like the 70s, maybe that movie was from, maybe the 80s. Next, this movie was very reminiscent of the Iron Man films for me, kind of like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like it had that vibe to me of I don't know what it was, but I just felt like this feels like Iron Man.
Because she was a snarky kind of rebellious.
Maybe that was it. It could be that. Yeah,
she was like the woman version of Iron Man kind of.
Yeah, I mean.
Was it Wing Commander?
No, it wasn't Wing Commander.
The Right Stuff?
The Right Stuff,
there
that's
you
it.
Go.
The Right Stuff, yeah. So that's the movie that they she picked up, which is cool. So guys, Flerken, what do you think? What do you think about the Flerken?
One of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
I try to flark on a daily basis.
He flarks it up.
Is a little tiny cat being the cutest, and then eating everyone with its tentacles.
Yeah.
Cam was definitely a little overexcited in the
Dude, no, that Flerken, I loved it because I knew what was going to happen. I just was waiting for it to happen because it reminded me a lot of Ben from Umbrella Academy with the tentacles that come out. But what's cool is people don't realize that, or maybe you do if you've read the comics or know a little bit, but not only does she have the tentacles, or I think it's a he in this one, he have the tentacles, but he has a pocket dimension in his mouth, which is why when he swallows the Tesseract, it's not in his body.
No.
It's in the pocket dimension, which means, here's a cool little thing here. When he grabs the 3 scroll, or the 3 Kree, and sucks them in, that means they go to a pocket dimension. Now, if we remember, you guys might not, because you may not have watched it, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., first season, Coulson comes back to life because they have a Kree alien, a half body of a Kree alien, that they've been siphoning blood into Coulson to revitalize him, essentially resurrect him with Kree blood. Right. The question was always, where did they get this Kree? Like, we haven't seen the Kree in anything.
Came out of Goose
Because we find out later that Goose coughs up the Tesseract, so it's like a pocket dimension hairball. She could have coughed up the Kree, like a half Kree.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it.
Amazing.
And it was one of them.
Yeah.
I'm also really like, how does that thing eat? Like, does everything just go to the pocket dimension? Or? My
question is, are all cats Flerkens, or it's just Flerkens look like cats? Yeah, you have two Flerkens. Yeah, Flerkens are great. Also, I'm like, could we have come up with a better name for them? Like, Flerken? Like, it's such a weird thing.
It's a really weird
thing. I love the whole Flerken cat thing.
Can you give me more like cat floating in zero G?
Oh my gosh! Or when they took off and the cat just like.
I thought the cat was gonna be a Kree.
No, yeah. See, because you weren't in on it, and again. It's kind of to your benefit.
Yeah, exactly.
Going in blind, you kind of don't know what's going on. Where I knew the whole time this thing's gonna have tentacles coming out of its face. So every time Fury picked it up, I'm just waiting. And now let's talk about that. Fury losing his eye.
Oh, I love that they teased it with the.
They were hamming it up. Yeah. They were hamming it up the whole time. He'd get punched, and you would think it was like angled. Like, is his eye gonna be gone? Car wreck. Is his eye gonna be gone? Yeah. Then you like hold the cat up. Is his eye gonna get ripped out by the tentacle right now? Literally.
Cat scratch.
Cat scratch.
Yep.
Eye gone.
Yeah.
I almost liked that it was so anticlimactic.
I like it too.
I like
they worked so good with that character.
But also,
so
I'm like,
badass.
why did the eye scratch? Like, he was so nonchalant about it. He was just like, it's just a scratch. And then he's like, oh yeah, I can't use my eye anymore.
Well, that was the whole point. Was that it was like he was being nonchalant about it. Like, oh, it's just a cat scratch, and then it just progressed because he didn't take care of it. As he lost his eye. Yeah.
But I also feel like he should have been like a little bit more like, oh, this sucks. I don't have an eye now. Yeah. And he didn't really care.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, guys. That tunnel they go down, remember near the beginning of the movie?
Tunnel?
Is that the tunnel from War Games?
I think it's the tunnel.
I think it's the tunnel from War Games. I was sitting there and I'm like, and I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find that they filmed in that area. It said they filmed in areas of Los Angeles, obviously, but they didn't specifically say Griffith Park. So I was like, if it would have said Griffith Park, I'd be like, that's totally the tunnel. Could have been a soundstage tunnel. I don't know. But it looks a lot like the War Games tunnel. And what was the other movie you said it was from?
Back to the Future 2.
Back to the Future 2, that's right.
Yeah.
What movie was it from, Krieger?
Anyway, they filmed out in Edwards Air Force Base, which is, we're out in Lancaster area. Well, not Lancaster, it's more like Kern. It's like way north of that Kern area. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Did you
see Cole's credit?
I was looking so hard for it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, we saw it very last second.
Yeah.
We caught it right before it
we got
disappeared.
really lucky. Wendy was like paying attention to me and Cam
way
on our
more-
phones.
Yeah, we were talking.
And
I was trying real hard to find the big blocks of like visual effects stuff and find his name in it, but I just
he's
couldn't do it.
He's under special effects technician.
Okay.
And he was on the third row, dead center. It just says Cole Phen.
He was dead center.
Cole Phen. It doesn't say Cole Phen
It
Enterprises.
doesn't say Cole Bradley. It doesn't say Cole Bradley Clayton Phen as 2 different people. It
Or
just said
Cole
Phen.
Fenterson.
It just
Cole
says Cole
Fenterson.
Phen this time.
Love
Fan of Cole
it. Shout out to
Fenterson.
Cole. And he's the reason we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Not that like we wouldn't have done this podcast anyway,
Yeah.
but he requested
And
it on
it's
the
also
Patreon.
really fun to read all of the last names. There are some.
Oh, yeah, we made
funny
some
good
names.
jokes.
Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
great.
Let's see here. The idea that the Skrull were terrorists, but only reacting to the Kree's violence. How'd you guys feel about that idea? I felt like it was kind of like this political statement about showing how people become brainwashed and your enemy's not really your enemy, but you've been told so long it's your enemy, and it's kind of this war of attrition where like, what did we even start fighting
I think
about?
it's totally accurate. I mean, it completely parallels like what happened in Iraq, right?
I was going to say the Middle East going on
with us
forever.
going in there, changing the power, giving guns to rebels, all these kinds of things, and then now we have a problem. Like that's what it is, and it's all from bigger influence.
Yeah, so I thought that was very subtle because they didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it's definitely like a point. And I was like, that's cool for the 90s too, because there was like, was it the was Desert Storm going on in the 90s?
Desert Storm was the 90s.
Yeah, so I'm like, that kind of like talks about that kind of like introduction, because I feel like
sure.
it's a lot of like the Middle East wars that we've been involved in.
Yeah.
It kind of started with that, you know. Now,
And I like humanizing everyone.
Yeah.
right? Like everyone has emotionality. Everyone is raw. Everyone has these things. Like, you know, I don't sympathize with terror, obviously, but like the people that are affected by that and everything in there, they're families that just want to leave, or people that are looking for refuge in our country are looking to leave. They just want to go and find a home.
And it's crazy because the Skrull were pigeonholed as this terrorist group to the Kree, and they're literally like, the only reason we're fighting back is because you came into our home and literally started mowing us down, and we had to do something.
It's also like it was really powerful. Like this whole like the Kree, you know, their whole thing is like a lot of them probably just don't know, and
They're following orders.
Yeah, they think they're in the right and they're in the wrong. Like it's
absolutely.
crazy, like how easy that can happen.
I also liked that Central Intelligence. So if you watched any of the cartoons and stuff where Hala is in it and the Kree and everything, Central Intelligence is this big floaty green blob in a tube reminiscent of Zordon.
Yeah.
It's really bad. So I'm so glad they did how they portrayed Central Intelligence in this, where like it shows
it
you
projects who
what
you most
you
admire.
exactly. I'm like, this was done
Yeah,
so
that was
much
done
better
really, really
than
well.
having a giant green blob tube going on.
Right.
I like
was
that.
awesome.
Some people may fight me on that. They want it, you know, some people are like, don't mess with my comic books. But I don't know why the prospector was here.
Yeah.
But so I can do 2 voices.
There's
That's what
gold. There's gold in them there.
There's a snake in my boot. So what do you guys think about, are you buying the reasoning that Fury didn't use the pager until now? And now I'll give you the reasoning that has been told by Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige said that none of the other stuff was a real emergency.
Because the Avengers had it under control.
Now,
In
here's
his
where I have a
eyes.
problem. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know about
So, New York attack. I can say, okay, maybe he looked at it and said, it's just a city.
Yeah.
If the city gets demolished before it becomes global,
Right.
I'll call in Captain Marvel. Okay, cool, fine, that's fine.
Thanos.
So global is now his mindset, right?
Right.
So when Ultron is threatening
Yeah.
to drop the town to destroy the world, that's global. So maybe he's thinking, we're just a small blip in this giant galaxy.
Right.
So I'm only going to call her for galactic problems.
Right. Because she is a galactic hero.
So that's now where we get to Thanos, galactic problem. Now here's where it
But he
breaks
makes
down.
his call when everyone's disappearing.
yeah.
right?
But how does he know it's galactic?
No, see,
He doesn't know that it's just not Earth.
I made another point. I have a hard time believing that Fury isn't made privy to what's going on with their fight with Thanos through the whole entire movie. Like, how is he somehow oblivious to what's going on with all the Avengers?
That's
Well,
true.
he's always known everything.
Exactly.
During
The Avengers,
Ultron,
the
he
Avengers
didn't
are
show up
working
until the end.
outside, but then again, no, because Fury's back with S.H.I.E.L.D., and the Avengers are working outside of S.H.I.E.L.D. Remember, because when they went to S.H.I.E.L.D., S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, bring them in.
Right.
And so that's why he probably doesn't know.
But he's more.
He's gotta know.
But
He's
yeah,
always
I'm
gonna
saying
know.
like in my personal opinion, there's no way he doesn't know what's going on with the Avengers. And if he knows about anything about Thanos, he would have called her sooner.
As soon
Yeah.
as that ship landed in
He
New
should
York,
call. Yeah,
he
and
knew.
that's what I say is because here's the problem: is that she gave him this pager because he just had something happen that never happened before, an alien invasion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So now the worst thing that can happen to you is an alien invasion, and that's why he has the pager for an emergency, which the emergency is synonymous with alien invasion. So why, when there's a giant portal of aliens,
In New York,
he doesn't call
yeah.
it? Now, here's a caveat. they're probably going to do a Captain Marvel 2. We're probably going to see there is a point that he did call her back before this time that we're unaware of for something. So maybe
she didn't
now
get any service.
Well, yeah, she was using Sprint. So now maybe we'll find out that she did get called back for something, and she goes, Fury, get a team together and just to deal with this. Like, I can't be called back every time. I got stuff going on.
Right.
And that's why he's so reluctant to call her, because he's like, I'm going to wait till the last possible second. It's like my kill man switch kind of, or dead man, kill switch engage. Kill switch engage. My dead man switch is like, okay, if the Avengers fail here and the world's coming to an end, that's when I'm going to call her. But I'm going to let my junior varsity boys kind of take the lead here and deal with it. And if they can't deal with it, then I'll call her in. So maybe that. But yeah, my biggest thing is that I think that he did call her in at some point, and she was like, "I told you an emergency. This isn't an emergency." Like, and then so now he's a little bit more like wolf. Not wanting to call her until something crazy happens. I don't know. There's a million reasons. It's retconning. What can you do?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, I'm just nitpicking. Like, it was still a great movie, and like everything was fine. But it's like that small thing is like in my brain, that's something where I'm all like, okay, well, it's more like, what would you do if you were Fury?
Yeah.
Like, Fury is his own person, so he has his own reasoning. So we have to suspend our thought process.
Yeah.
And,
I also wouldn't be surprised if that's something that gets mentioned in Avengers Endgame. Where
Could be.
they'd be like, well, where
were you? Yeah, you're so powerful. Where have you been? And she'll be like,
I hit traffic.
Yeah. The Galactic 405. No good. So now moving into our next one, guys. You guys don't probably know about any of this because it's so nerdy, but Young Avengers. You guys know about Young Avengers?
That rings a bell. I know a little bit about.
Okay,
is it like Saved by the Bell?
Yes. Yes. So I think that we've been subtly giving subliminal messaging about Young Avengers, and that's going to be the next phase because they haven't announced any next phase.
Right.
And I think Young Avengers, after all this is wrapped up, is going to be our next phase, and I'll tell you why. We've seen Cassie Lang.
Yep.
It's Scott Lang's daughter.
Who's that?
She's Stature in the comics, so an Ant-Man type person, hero.
Oh, Ant-Man's daughter.
Ant-Man's daughter, Paul
Scott
Rudd's
Lang.
daughter. We've seen Monica Rambeau now, who is Photon and has actually been Captain Marvel for a little bit in the comics.
And that's Denver's best friend.
Danvers' best friend's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she
She was
even mentioned
awesome.
she was,
Yeah, she was
she even
great.
mentioned in the little thing. She's like, "Oh, I wish one day I could be like a superhero like you." Well, you're gonna be Monica.
Yeah.
We saw in the Endgame trailer that Hawkeye's training possibly his daughter, and we know that Young Avengers is I forget her name, but she's a Hawkeye. She's Hawkeye. I forget her name. No, it's not his daughter in the comics.
Also get an allusion to Donald Glover's cousin to be Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. So we might get Miles Morales
That's true.
in there too. So we're rounding out this Young Avengers
Again.
like roster, and we've been having the seeds planted this whole time and not even realizing it.
Right.
Yeah.
We just thought
That
they
makes
were
sense.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, we just thought they were fun Easter eggs, but these may be the next phase.
Yeah, that makes
which
sense
is super
because
cool.
a lot of the major actors in the Avengers
Aren't
are
coming
like,
back.
we're done after
Exactly.
this. Like, we're out skis.
So the last thing here about the movie, if you guys want to jump in with anything that you enjoyed that I missed, but friend of the show, Kyle Lynn, told me last night that the thing that bugged him the most about this movie is that when Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, is like, hey, I want to change my suit color, and then tells Monica, go ahead and change it. How the heck does Monica know what to do touching the little pad
honestly,
thing? Like
that bugged the crap out of me.
yeah, like what? No.
And also, how would you not stick with the neon one? That was so cool.
Oh, the neon one was like Tron. So good.
That would have been me 100%.
That would have, yeah.
You know, she's a
100%.
smart girl. Like, she touched the thing, it made a color, and then so she just started doing it. And like
Maybe
figured
it's
out.
linked to like your brain. Like when you touch it, it just knows what you
Maybe
think.
it also looked like, you know, what she was touching had different color patterns on
Yeah,
it.
it's like a
so you
palette.
could just like touch it and like mess with the palette.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, but I'm like, how did it change blue and red to different yellow to different colors and everything and all that? I don't know.
Outer space science. Dude.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Why not? I mean, she used a freaking Game Boy to call across galaxies to someone. So I mean, I guess we can't complain too much.
Right. I'm just still not over the soundtrack, dude.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so.
We've been
good.
hitting some good shows with soundtracks. The Umbrella Academy, this movie.
I don't know if you're going to get, in my opinion, Baby Driver might be the epitome of what you want. Like that.
Well, and you know what?
The way it meshed with what was going on.
You know what
in
else
the
is
movie
so
was
amazing? As we talked about this in our episode on Monday, but James Gunn's coming back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which means we're getting another amazing soundtrack in a movie whenever that one comes out. Like, and James Gunn, not only is he doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he's staying on Suicide Squad 2.
Oh,
Wow.
So we're gonna get
thank
the Suicide
Lord.
Squad we deserve the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah,
The
it's
second
true.
time because James Gunn.
Well, Will Smith
is
won't be in it.
amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be.
He's
I
a
think I
great-
heard Idris Elba. No.
I thought I heard that as well.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. He's so good.
Suicide Squad is not. The Suicide Squad is in the Avengers universe.
No,
it's
it's
DC.
DC.
Okay, I was gonna say that makes more sense because I'm like, how
It's
could you
too
have,
separate.
Idris Elba?
Well, it's funny because people are like, James Gunn thought he was getting fired from a movie, but all he was doing was getting 2 jobs.
Yeah.
It's what happened.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Did you guys see, speaking of Idris Elba, did you see the Hobbs and Shaw trailer
Yes.
at the beginning? I don't know what I think about this movie.
I
I'm
watched it and went,
I'm all for Fast and the Furious, but this one, I just felt like I was like, oh, this is like too much. This is
It's basically someone's like, hey, you remember Megalodon and Skyscraper? Let's do that in like the Fast and Furious universe.
hard pass.
But they were also like, you remember that villain Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp no one cared about? Let's have a black dude be that then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll be cool to see Idris Elba be a villain.
no,
I love Idris Elba.
I mean,
I'm all for that.
everyone knows I'm a shameless like cheesy movie apologist. Like, so I love all the Fast and Furious movies, so I will watch this. And see, the thing is, you have to go into watching it expecting it for what it is, and not like, oh, this is going to be a cinematic masterpiece. No, this is like a cheesy.
Fast and Furious.
It's the
Yeah.
Fast and Furious. It's the
muscle porn.
Yeah, it's muscle porn. And who doesn't like muscle porn?
Me.
I love muscle porn.
Yeah, hence the
Shout out all the Instagram.
the jacked
fitness people
the
I
jacked
follow.
person at the table.
I'm not that jacked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever, kid. All right.
Oh,
I saw your cousin today.
Oh, yeah.
is his name Jack?
Where was he?
He was at Bunker Hill. Well, I think he was seeing his parents at Bunker Hill.
Oh, is this the one that turned
cool.
21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going hard this weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
he,
no, he just said hi to his parents, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So shout out to
While
Caleb's
drinking a
cousin.
few beers.
Yeah, my cousin Christian.
Shout out Christian.
Christian.
He is jacked.
Nice.
He's
Oh, is he? He's a big guy.
He's jacked.
So he beat me at an arm wrestle.
Yeah.
I think most people could beat me at an arm wrestle. Everyone at this table could probably beat me at an arm
I
wrestle.
have bad shoulders.
Let's talk about some fun facts because hey, I love bringing fun facts. Fun facts with Jordan.
And I brought some fun facts with you.
It's Uber facts with Krager. Oh, that was the last podcast. Okay, so here's my fun facts. I already told you about the cardboard cutout, so I'm moving to my second one. Brie Larson is allergic to cats. So her scenes involving Goose were filmed with a puppet or computer-generated
I
cat.
can't date her now.
Nope, 'cause she's very
I have
allergic.
2 flirkins at home.
Yep,
Yeah.
What's the name of your flirkins?
And
Major Tom and Ellen Ripley.
love it.
and
So
I-
good.
I love cats. Don't get me wrong. I grew up with cats, but I'm much more of a dog person. So
I'm a dog person too. That's a cat dad.
I know that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually grew up having
like
cats.
Cam.
So.
Dogs, cats.
Yeah, you know, I
giving
think
me
I-
them all.
Yeah, give me the animals. Love them.
gonna stand on my little porch up here and be like, listen, like you don't have to be a cat or a dog person. You can love both.
Did you say you're gonna stand on your porch?
Is
Is it like a soapbox, but closer to, is it closer to your house?
I meant soapbox, but I haven't been to the market lately, so I don't have like
so
my shampoo.
just use your
okay.
porch. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Another fun fact about this. So Cole, obviously special effects tech on
Yeah.
this. He and I were talking. I was talking to him I was like, what kind of woods do you guys use for breakaway stuff? And he was just like, oh, like balsa, foam core. And he goes, talk to me when you watch Captain Marvel. And I was like, all right. He built all of those pinball cabinets that were breaking and people were punching through.
Oh, that's super
and
cool.
they're all made out of balsa wood and foam core. And they
Wait,
looked
which ones?
The ones-
the pinball machines.
when they're on the
So-
ship fighting near the end.
So Cole made all those, and they looked legit.
Yeah.
That's
they
so
were
cool.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I like
Yeah.
that. Oh, did you guys like the subtle drop of Street Fighter 2
Yes,
Ultimate or
I
Champion
loved
Edition or
that.
whatever? Like
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, and Cole also built her jet and the spaceships.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I know.
Man, he worked on a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah, he was out here for 7 months.
Oh
dude, working
man,
on
that's
that.
crazy.
He also did Avengers too, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did both of
Endgame?
them.
Both of them?
Yeah, he did Endgame and he did
Infinity
Infinity War.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and both Ant-Mans.
What did he do in Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Same thing.
No, but I mean, like, do you know what part he was working on?
Cutting out and building all the giant like props and shrinky props and doing
Oh, cool.
all that
Because
stuff.
that's a good one for that. Because
Yeah.
like
He
they're
always said
shrinking
it was
down. Oh,
super
that's
fun,
yeah.
yeah.
That's got to be a really fun one.
I'll butt in. We'll do
Yeah.
back and forth. Oh, sorry guys.
Wow,
We'll do-
Krager, how professional of you to just slap your mic.
I always slap the tip.
That doesn't sound very enjoyable.
No, that does. It sounds very painful.
As Joe would say, don't knock it till you try it.
True.
Don't slap it till you try it.
So what could have been before Captain Marvel makes her debut on the big screen in this movie, there were plans to have her appear in 2 separate Marvel properties. She was going to have a cameo in Age of Ultron.
Okay.
And she was going to have a big role in Jessica Jones. She was supposed
Jessica
to be.
Jones?
She was supposed to be Jessica Jones's best friend.
Really?
Yeah,
Carol
but-
Danvers?
Yeah, but they ended up changing it to be Trish Walker instead because they felt it was better fit for Jessica Jones.
Yeah, because
It's a way better fit
Yeah,
for
'cause
Jessica Jones.
Captain Marvel would have totally taken the.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have even been Jessica Jones anymore.
Yeah.
What does that do to your theory if they had thought about having her as a cameo in Age of Ultron?
Oh, if she was there? No, but
Or if
if
it's
she
just
would have
as
been
a
a cameo,
cameo.
she would have been Carol Danvers, not
No, I see
Captain
what
Marvel.
you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like how in Captain America Winter Soldier, they drop named Stephen Strange,
Right.
but he hadn't become Doctor Strange yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that keeps my theory in place. Actually,
It's Hook.
it's Hook. Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I love that story.
Yeah. So here's another fun fact for you. When Talos, who is Ben Mendelsohn's character, the bad scroll, or the main scroll, not bad scroll, he confronts Carol and Nick in Louisiana. He's sipping from a fast food drink container. It's the exact same design as the cup that Jules, the guy, Samuel L. Jackson's character from Pulp Fiction, is drinking when they steal back the briefcase.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's kind
What
of
kind
fun.
of burger is it? What's it called?
Big Kahuna Burger,
Big Kahuna
right? Yeah,
Burger.
Big Kahuna Burger.
And he's drinking a Sprite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To wash this down.
Yeah. I've only ever seen that
tasty
movie
burger.
once. How do I know that? That I've only
I
seen
don't
that
know.
movie once.
I was going to call it like Big Maui Burger. I was close.
Big Kahuna. Is Big Kahuna the 50s diner that John Travolta
No.
takes?
No,
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 that's a
that
different
that was,
one.
Yeah.
I
like
forget that one.
Slapjack something. I don't know.
I just know they have a
something like that.
shake or something like
Yeah,
that.
$5, $6 shake.
Yeah, $6 shake,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Carl's Jr. has a $6 burger, so that would be
Yeah.
a $12 meal.
Ooh, I want a burger.
So-
Can we get a burger after?
I like the.
I'm pretty
how
hungry.
how
Yeah,
do you
sounds
want it cooked? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Project Pegasus, you guys. So Marvel loves having acronyms.
Yeah.
As we know, as Strategic Homeland Intervention and something Logistics Division for SHIELD. Project Pegasus stands for Potential Energy Group / Alternate Sources / United States. What? That was a stretch.
Yeah,
that
that
was
is
a
a
stretch. It was previously mentioned in the Avengers, actually, when Loki is mind controlling the Doctor to go get the Tesseract. He walks by a big thing that says Project Pegasus on it. So we've seen this before.
Okay.
The name Captain Marvel is not used once in the entire film.
No, which I really liked.
I did like that too. She's
Yeah.
never called Captain
I was
Marvel.
thinking about that today. I'm all like, wait, did I couldn't figure out if I did or didn't hear it. I was like, wait, what?
And I felt like a big dum-dum when they've been calling her Veers the whole time. Like, Veers is such a cool space name. And then you realize it's just because the dog
Danvers,
tag
yeah.
broke and it's the end of Danvers. And I'm like,
Danvers, yeah.
well, now I feel like a big idiot. Like, it should have been so obvious.
I liked when Samuel Jackson called her like Lieutenant something, like gave her
Lieutenant
like a fake
Dan?
name. Yes, Lieutenant Dan. When she lost her legs in the movie.
Yeah. I love that part. No, what was that? It was Lieutenant, like...
Osprey.
It was like
Lieutenant
Osprey.
Space
it
Suit
was like,
or something
yeah, it was like
that.
Lieutenant Spacesuit or Lieutenant like Space Girl. It was
Yeah,
like something
yeah.
really bad, and she was like, I don't like it. Like,
I love how
that
she
was
just.
awesome.
I love how she just assumed, like, she didn't care that no one knew what the heck was going on Earth. She's just like, I'm from space, and like everyone's like this drunk high chick right now in this rubber
and then
suit.
she like shoots her hand like
Yeah, and they're
the
like,
big thing,
what the heck?
Yeah,
And
it
she's
was
like,
amazing.
what? It's a photon blast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What are you, idiots?
Yeah.
And then the one girl in the group was like, I've been to C-53 before. It's a
hole.
yeah, it's a hole. So good.
By the way, shout out to them giving more Asian roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say she's the chick that was in Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, which makes sense.
She is an extremely attractive person, by the way.
Her name in the show is Minerva, something Minerva. I don't know her real name though.
The last name is Chen.
No, it's Gemma. I think it's Gemma something.
Her last name is Chen.
Oh, so it's Gemma Chen then, I think. So I think
Gemma Chen.
yeah, that's it. 'Cause it's like Gemma.
Yeah.
I liked her makeup style and hair. She
yeah.
looked
So cool.
so badass.
Which, did you guys have a problem with Jude Law being Caucasian male and everyone else is blue?
Yeah, I did.
Well, there's a reason
the
behind
beginning,
there's a
yeah,
reason
otherwise.
behind it though in the comics, but I was just
Okay.
like, why not just make everyone blue? You know?
Yeah.
Funny story that no one's going to care about. I was driving on Mulholland Drive, about
Mulholland.
about like
It's a David Lynch
6
movie.
months ago,
Yeah.
6 months ago or so, and I drove past him. He was driving.
Jude Law?
Yeah, he was
That's
driving.
funny.
He was driving that old Porsche that has no roof.
Yeah.
it's the one that James Dean died in.
Little
And he-
bastard.
yeah,
Okay.
he was going the opposite direction as me, and I drove past, and like it's so open, you can see he was driving. Like, oh, Jude Law.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was
That's
on-
fun.
he was on Mulholland Drive.
That's a benefit of living out in the Hollywood area, I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah.
Pinar Toprak
Oh, I know him.
signed on to compose the film's score, making her the first woman to score the MCU films.
That's cool.
Very nice.
That's pretty cool. I like the woman inclusion here, especially since the directors, it was a couple. It was a husband and wife, I think, that did that.
So that's cool.
And I have another feminist
Tell me.
fact. So, symbol of hope. Danvers. I always do Danvers. I don't know why. Danvers is not only a heroic woman, but also a hero for women. Specifically, when she was going by the name Mrs. Marvel, which was seen at the time as a feminist symbol and a statement for women's rights back then. The abbreviations MS dot, which is like Mrs.
Ms.
Miss, was
Ms.
Little Ms.
Does he miss you up?
Awesome. That's a wrestling joke.
Did you hear me saying it?
Yeah.
Was starting to be used by more and more women over the abbreviations Miss and Mrs. It was also the name of a feminist magazine co-founder by Gloria Stein. I can't pronounce her name. Anyway, but it was basically like really important for like the whole feminist movement.
Yeah.
Like giving
That's
more
cool.
rights to women.
Well, I like they call her because she was Miss Marvel for a while, but I like that she's Captain Marvel now because women can be captains.
Yeah. I like.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Captain Marvel.
Also, shout out to Cole. I am the captain now. That's right. I loved that sequence when they've been telling her to suppress her emotions the whole time, which is what women hear nonstop.
Yeah.
Is like, you're too emotional. You can't do this. You'd be too emotional at it. And they're just forcing her to control her emotions. And she gains all her power from having emotionality.
Yeah.
And that little cutscene, not the original cutscene where she's like getting hit on by repugnant dudes in bars, where he's like, why they call it a cockpit?
Yeah.
Right. That kind of thing. Or like everyone telling her she's not good enough to like go-kart race. She's not good enough for all this because she's a woman. She gets thrown at when she's playing baseball for being a woman on a boys team. All these things. And when she's like, no, I am human. And they do that scene of like her standing back up
every
single time. And like, that is what gave me chills. And that's the only time I teared up in the whole movie. Because
it was so good.
I'm a sucker for like the human condition where it's like, you get up, you try again, you don't give up, and never give up on what makes you you. That's like my favorite thing in the world.
Also, a major complaint I have of that movie.
Major complaint?
Is the fact that when she was in fact getting up in that cutscene where it's showing her getting it multiple times, they did not play Chumbawamba, and I was very pissed.
Okay then. No, but the line she had after that, when like she got up and she says, "I've been fighting with one hand behind my back this whole time," and you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
it's going down!"
And then you get ding 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 ding.
Oh, dude,
so good.
She just massacred.
Off my eyes.
She massacred.
I'm exposed.
So in the movie, Carol refers to Monica as Lieutenant Trouble. In the comics, Lieutenant Trouble is actually Captain Marvel's biggest fan and later on becomes her friend.
Oh, nice.
So that's a little bit of a fun Easter egg there. Did you guys know Keanu Reeves was almost cast as Yon-Rogg instead of Jude Law?
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been.
I don't know. I like Jude Law in it, but it would have been weird.
It would have been weird, but I think it would have worked.
Jude Law actually he has a wide range. He very easily plays the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, I feel like
I'm Keanu.
I feel like what would have happened is when Jude Law or Yon-Rogg goes, "Your name is Veers," and she goes, "My name is Carol." And then if it was Carol, he would have went, "My name is Neo." My name is Neo. Like it was like the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like, you gotta suppress your emotions. Excellent.
Wild Stallions.
In the comics, Danvers. So in the movie, her call sign was Avenger.
Right.
Which is how Samuel L. Jackson decided to change it from the Protectors Initiative to the Avengers Initiative. Well, her call sign in the comics is Cheeseburger.
No way.
Yeah.
I want the cheeseburger.
Such a better call
initiative.
sign than Cheeseburger.
That sounds so good right now.
Yeah, go for it, because that's the right end of my fun fact. So I have her plugs.
I have another one. This one's kind of cool. So it's called Casting a Wide Net. Danvers has been associated with numerous organizations, groups, and teams throughout the years. As a civilian and as a superhero, Danvers worked for Air Force, NASA, CIA, S.H.I.E.L.D. as Captain Marvel. She was a member of the Avengers, New Avengers, Mighty Avengers, A-Force, Starjammers, Defenders, Excalibur, X-Men, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't even know half those. I've never heard of like
I know, me either.
the Jammers or Space Jammers or whatever.
Space
Jammers. Michael Jordan.
It's Starjammers.
Oh, Starjammers.
Starjammers. She also founded the Ultimates and was the leader of the Alpha Flight space program. program. Yeah, so like she's been like,
Dang, she's
been so much like
I don't want to be derogatory, but she's been around.
She's Cole's favorite superhero, so I think it's really cool that we did this show for him.
And he got to work on it. That's awesome.
and he got to meet what's her name?
Yeah, he did.
He met Brie Larson?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
he met Brie.
Yeah, Brie's cool. I like her.
Me too.
She's my favorite superhero, my favorite cheese.
Oh, and throwback to our audience.
Jesus Gouda.
Throwback to our audience. The Umbrella Academy, the event that happened when all the kids were born.
Yep.
Yeah.
October 1st, 1989.
Is Brie Larson's actual birthday.
Right, her actual
It's
birthday.
Brie Larson's actual birthday.
Yeah.
She's
That's
only
so
a month
crazy.
older than me.
That's so crazy.
So
she's
Seriously?
so she's younger than me?
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Tiny itty bitty picture.
But yeah, she's a month and 3 days
That's
older.
crazy. That's
yeah.
so crazy. I just look like I'm 16 still, so I just assume everyone's older than me.
Yeah.
So that was Captain Marvel. That was a ton of fun. Great film.
super fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to see it a second time in theaters. I'll probably wait till it comes
wait till
out
it
and
comes
like
out.
watch it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was less 90s period gimmicky than I thought it was going to be. I feel like they did just the right amount.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't like. Throw it in
I
your
was
face.
nervous when the first thing we saw was that Blockbuster video thing, and I was like, "How much
That was
going
gonna
to
all be that.
She's gonna walk out like eating a fruit by the foot, and like
7-Eleven Slurpee.
yeah, all that, and
Gushers.
but still like. It was perfect. The way it worked, it was the right amount of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I think that's another good reason why we're doing it on this podcast.
I don't know. I could
know-
I could use a Nickelodeon magazine.
You know what they missed? You know what they missed that I actually thought they were, which is an 80s film though, so like maybe it didn't fit, but when she still has her get up on and this guy rolls up on the bike and he's like calling out to her but she's not paying attention and he's like, what a weirdo, and like walks in and she pretty much steals some grunge clothing, steals the bike and leaves. I thought she was going to go up to him and be like, give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. I thought they were going to do like some Terminator reference there, and they didn't. So I was like bummed about that. But
I love
wouldn't
that
really
she
work.
just stole the bike, and I'm only happy when it rains.
Yeah, I know. So good.
I was a little bit thrown off when he told her to lose a flannel. She doesn't know what a flannel is. How does she know to take that off? Remember when Fury was like, take off the flannel? I was like, I don't know what a flannel is.
That's true. They did assume something. Also, there's an inconsistency too because when the scrolls change into someone else, they take their voice as well, like project the voice. But when they changed into the kids at the beach, he still had his regular voice.
But they've also said that they just because they take the voice doesn't mean they have to use it.
That's true.
So
that
I
is
think
true.
he was
each other.
talking to each other. He was like, hey, I got here first.
Yeah, hey,
that was
this
a
is
funny
my
little thing.
tiny Asian girl. Or no, she was like Pan Pacific. This is my tiny Hawaiian girl.
Yeah.
Aloha.
So that's the episode about Captain Marvel. We're gonna leave it off on that
Awesome.
terrible statement.
Aloha.
Aloha. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter with the handle WreckMyPodcast, or shoot us an email at wreckmypodcast@gmail.com. We're on all major podcasting apps as well as YouTube. Go to our YouTube and subscribe, because if you do, you will be entered into a contest to win an art book that my father-in-law made.
Yeah.
Super cool. We'll ship that out to you wherever you're at in the country. And you'll get that for free just to go to our YouTube and subscribe. Plus, you get to watch us talk about this tiny little Brie Larson picture that we have on our TV screen here. Rate, review, subscribe. Please do that on our iTunes. We've gotten a lot of ratings. We haven't gotten a review in a long time. So I think someone
Review
go
us.
give us a review. That'd be super, super cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you a shout out on the Instagram then and be like, hey, thanks you person for reviewing us. We have a Patreon where you can go and support us as well. Patreon.com/WreckMyPodcast. We have 2 patrons. We have Phen of Phen Enterprises, who requested this episode because he's at that tier, and is he allowed to do that? He's also our friend, so we'll do that for him.
True.
We have Ryan Buds of the Trivia with Buds podcast, who is also a Patreon here. Did you know he gave me a gift last night for my birthday? And did you see what the shirt said? It said, "If lost, please return to Cam."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in charge. I am in charge of Jordan.
I love
showed
it.
you that last night.
Oh, I don't remember anything.
Yeah, he was probably drunk. But yeah, go join them and being a patron. Go to one of our cool tiers.
And also tune in next week to see if I do in fact become a patron.
Yeah. This is what 20 weeks going now.
Probably like 5
If
or
you
6.
subscribe to our Patreon, like I said on Around Table, our Monday show, that if you subscribe to Patreon during the month of March, I will, instead of just sending you a doodle, I will paint you something.
Yes.
And I maybe or maybe cannot weld you a scorpion.
And if you're also at the 20 Patreon, you get a fun random thing I'll send you that I have sitting on my counter, and I haven't
And
had
our $100 tier.
Our $100. Oh, I forgot about our $100 tier. If our $100 tier, you get to come on the podcast, hang out with us for the day, and then go on a date with Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for $69, I will give you a massage.
There you go.
That's no happy endings.
No happy endings. That's $169. You get the happy ending. If you don't want to support us on Patreon, you can still support us financially without paying anything out of pocket. And I really do stress, guys.
No way.
I want people to do this because it literally costs you nothing. It takes no time.
Tell me how.
You do it anyway. I'll tell you how. So if you go to wreckmypodcast.com, you will see
I can do that.
an Amazon. You will see an Amazon banner at the top.
Okay.
If you click that Amazon banner,
Okay.
How dare you? Get out of here.
no,
This is my
spit it-
bit.
spit
This
it-
is my bit.
spit it out.
Go
if
away.
you go to that Amazon banner, you will click that. It'll take you right to Amazon. It's the whole website. It's your
Dude,
account.
I use Amazon all the time.
Exactly.
It is-
Everyone uses Amazon. Anything you buy doesn't charge you anything more, but gives us a little bit of
Wait,
percentage
so you're
on
saying,
that.
So you're saying it doesn't take money away from me. It takes money away from Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Exactly. And gives it to us.
Oh, absolutely.
To do with what we please.
And you just click on an Amazon banner?
You just click on it, wreckmypodcast.com. Click the banner at the top. It's all the extra work you have to do. Everything after that is the same thing you would do on Amazon anyway, but we get a little bit of money.
So you're telling
Please
me
help us.
the more money we get, the more likely it is you can replace me with someone else. Everyone go do that so I can get
The
off
more
this.
money we get, the more I can have just AI. 4 iPhones of just Siri talking with me. No, seriously, we can get better. Well, actually, I'm not going to say. So
Yeah.
get this. I'm not legally allowed to say what we're going to use the money for, according to the customer service person I talked to at Amazon. So I can't say what we're
It's
using for.
definitely-
But the money you give us is money we get. So
It's definitely not Skinamax.
yeah. So go do that, please. Thank you to Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making some of our amazing songs. If you have a podcast or show that you need a composition for, hit him up at petrifiedgumbomusic.com. Weird name, but amazing music. We have episodes come out every Monday called Around a Round Table. It's our segment show. If you haven't listened to this past Mondays, please go do. We had a special guest on there, Jason from the Jason and Mindy podcast and the Difference Between Us podcast. Super cool dude. Made it a lot of fun. We're going to try and do a collaboration with him and his podcast. More. We're so close that I feel like it'd be fun to just do guest spots and everything there.
Yeah, definitely.
So go check that episode out. It's always fun. Every Monday we have that come out. Every Wednesday we have a show like this come out. I don't know what we're doing next week. We'll figure it out. If Krager pays to be a Patreon,
Hey,
maybe he'll
maybe.
make us watch all the freaking Austin Power movies.
All of them?
Yeah, he wants to do like the Austin Powers.
We can just do like one. That's fine.
Heather Graham. Thank you guys for being here on this podcast. And thank you to our listeners, because without you, we'd be like a tree in the forest and no one would hear us.
Bye, I love you.
This is Captain Marvel. I'm saying goodbye.
And I love you.
We need to talk about our relationship status.
My.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
Nah.
Yeah.
Prison purse?
Prison purse.
This is
It's a little bit bigger than the prison wallet. It holds a little bit more.
Is a goat-
It's a downgrade from the prison fanny pack.
Is a goat scrotum just called a goatum?
Godum.
A Godum. It sounds
Nice.
like a Pokemon.
Goatum.
Godum.
A wild Godum has appeared.
Per diem.
Like the have a great day.
I forgot to like make actually people aware of this. Have a great day.
Here, I'm gonna go take it to the camera.
Yeah, take it to the camera. So we won this. What was it? Second or third place? We won this.
that
at
was
trivia.
second place.
Second place. We got a nice picture of Cam saying, "Have a great day."
It's my faculty picture.
Hi, my name is Cam.
That's exactly what I sound like.
Oh boy.
Do you know how to hand things?
Do you know how to hand things?
Do you know how to
hand lots of things.
He was a teenage boy. He definitely knows how to hand things.
Gregor's a master hander.
That was pretty handy back in the day.
Burgers?
Yeah. No, I actually
Boigas
have
and
food at
fries?
home.
Oh, nice.
We're going.
I
We're
bought a
going.
whole bunch
I'm
today.
domesticated.
We're going to Sheboygan to get some Sheboygan boogers.
What kind of burger are you gonna get?
I just want a cheeseburger so bad.
But I mean, like, where are you gonna get it?
I don't know yet. We haven't decided.
We have to discuss this.
The Habit,
Big Kahuna Burger.
Big Kahuna Burger, In-N-Out, Rustic Burger,
that's too
Carl's
expensive.
Jr.
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Islands.
Oh, I like Red Robin
The
actually.
Robin burgers are good.
Yeah.
But that would be a lot of effort because we'd have to be there for like at least like an hour or so.
Or you just get it to go.
No, it's not the same.
It's the Habit. And
Although Red Robin's fries.
I know, and they're bottomless.
Ooh.
They're like the opposite of that Queen song, Fat Bottom Girls.
Fat bottom girl, you make my penis go around.
Is that like meatspin.com?
He was singing.
Yeah.
I think Craig was talking about meatspin.com.
Be right round,
Baby, right round. Walk a record player.
Right round.
All right, let's go get a burger. Let's go kill some cows.
Okay. I'm just.
Check, poopity poop.
Nice.
Life is false. Existence is not real.
I forgot to put that up. I'll have to put it in
Aw.
post.
Yeah, put it in post.
Life isn't real. Existence is a lie, and this is all bull.
Should I put a picture of Captain Marvel?
Yeah, put a Brie Larson.
Just Brie Larson naked.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Is that a thing?
Apparently, Cam knows.
Yeah, I know
Larson.
Brie Larson's sister.
Can we get Brie Larson on the podcast?
I wish.
He said that the sisters do not get along and do not communicate.
That's a bummer.
Which I mean, like at first, like, oh, that's messed up. I'm like, wait, I haven't seen her talk to my brother in like 4 years, and he lives in the same valley as me.
Yeah.
My past, including this one, the past 4 movie-going experiences, I think I'm starting to attract very, very terrible people. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
so we were sitting in our theater, and so I there was like 2 kids, like younger, like probably junior high school, like sitting like in the middle, and so I sat one seat away from them. And then Cam was to my left, and then our friend was to the left of him. And anyway, so the previews are going, everyone's talking a little bit in the previews. It's fine, we all do that. But then the credits are like starting for the movie, and they're talking to each other louder than they should be. I'm like, oh no. And it persisted like 20 minutes in,
And they chewed on their popcorn like goats. Like
so,
it was.
I've come to learn I probably have like a mild form of misophonia, which is like you're very sensitive to like audible sounds with your mouth.
Same, I hate it too.
So
Yeah.
like chewing with your mouth open. So they were
Yeah,
chewing
that's
with their
worse,
mouth open with popcorn on top of talking. So
And it was you could hear it over the
yes.
The movie.
So their talking was
Wow.
pretty loud, and so I looked at them a couple times, they didn't see me. Like I gave them like the, like, are you kidding me? This is not like okay. And then about 20 minutes in, they were talking to the level, like very aggressive, and they got the hint, and luckily they stopped talking a little bit. They still talked a little bit, but it wasn't as bad. But then they were just like chewing on. They had the biggest bucket of popcorn ever, and they were just chewing and chewing, both of them with their mouths open, and it was so annoying. And then on top of that, when so you know how they have post-credit scenes, so I'm sitting there, and then one of their moms walks by. I was like, oh, we gotta talk to them. So their mom was sitting away from them, and it took every ounce of self-control not to be like, tell that woman, your child are terrible, raise them better. Like I was like, oh, I was.
Have you ever heard of a movie called God Bless America?
No.
So it's a
Yeah, that's the
dark comedy.
the Bobcat Goldthwait movie.
Yes, so it's this crazy dark comedy, and there's a scene in it. It's about this dude who just had it with society, and he goes on a killing spree because he just
really good.
hates people that like don't respect other people, so he kills them.
Wait,
I don't know how that works.
Is this the one where like he like befriends like a young girl?
Yes, the young girl.
I saw
so
the
he befriends
trailer
a young
for
girl
this.
who's also like that, and they go to see a movie, and these kids are talking, so he gets up and shoots them all in the head, except for the one girl who wasn't talking, telling him to be quiet. He goes, "Thank you for not talking," which is
so dark.
It's dark. It's super dark, but I'm like, that's like that could happen because we're in that time. So it's like maybe you don't want to be talking in the movie theater, kids, because you don't know what crazy person's here right
also,
now.
And also, like I don't mean to disparage the AV, but my 3 previous times in the theater were in the AV.
I don't go to the theater.
Oh, and so
You love that Cinemark, huh?
no, so I'll try to be very quick with this, but the 2 worst ones where the AV now, their theater, the one that looks like the Titanic because it has the 4 spouts.
Yes.
Is that the one by the Jayhawk Stadium?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I call it the Titanic Theater because it has 4 like
Yeah.
things just like it. Anyway, so they now have assigned seating, and me and the girl
nice.
that I was
They do?
dating at the time went to go see like I think it was like Crazy Rich Asians or something like that. But anyway, it was
You paid to see that?
it was actually pretty good.
Someone in Captain Marvel was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Anyway, so it was like probably like 10 to 20 people in the theater, and we sat somewhat higher up. She's on the aisle, and I'm one next to her, and these two kids sat freaking next to me, and I was livid for it ruined the entire movie. I was pissed the entire time, and one, it's just like you can pick your own seats. Why would you do that? But also, every time I tell the story, everyone's just like, well, why didn't you just move? I'm like, I didn't think that. I was too mad.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah,
mad.
just
I was
move.
so mad, and I was also, but also in your mind, like, okay, you have assigned seating, so like,
I'm going to defend these people though real quick. Maybe they didn't know how to do it because assigned seating works that it puts you next. It by default puts you next to the closest, like to someone who already has a seat.
Really?
Yeah, if you've ever noticed, it always
Yeah,
like
so
default picks your seat next to someone who's already picked a seat.
It avoids putting like one seat gaps
Yeah,
for like
so
bigger
you have to
parties.
then go and click what seat you want. So if they don't know how to use the technology really well,
I know.
they may have just said, "Oh, just whatever," and then that's the seat.
But
they got
also,
picked by
it's also
default.
kind of like we were sitting there first. Like you couldn't just like
We were here for.
You couldn't see that there was. It was like
So
they
what's
came
your
in
thought?
later.
What's your thought about the white men coming to America?
I'm white. and I like,
Backpedal.
I like being here.
Okay.
But
Craig, are you with
That's
us
a
when
joke.
we saw Solo?
Oh, remember that? That was
That
so
was
annoying.
The worst movie experience I've ever had.
Yeah, I think it was the last time I went to a theater. Actually,
besides Marvel,
So let me guess, you weren't alone.
no.
No.
There was was it 2 kids, 3 kids?
There were like 3 or 4 kids.
Bunch of kids
sitting
right behind us.
directly behind us.
They were talking the whole movie, and not just like talking, like they were literally having full-on conversations. And I'm like, you realize that you can have a conversation outside of the theater,
And none of you said anything.
you
Why would
don't
you
have
go
to
to a
pay.
theater
Hold on,
and
no,
talk?
Yeah,
Someone
exactly.
said
Hold on,
something. I don't
none of you
remember.
said anything to them.
Baseball
Did you turn around? Someone in our group turned around and said, "Shh," but they didn't
No,
listen.
and then someone else actually said something
Yeah.
that was like next to us.
I just feel like you get a better. I know everybody's into going to a theater, going there opening night. I just feel like you get a better experience watching at home. You know.
Well, I disagree. Well, first of all, you guys.
You diss a what?
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree a little bit with what you're saying. No,
That's fine. No, and
respectfully.
it's totally
No,
okay
no.
that you do.
Fuck you respectfully.
Because I disagree with you. God damn it.
No, but so.
Are those order forms from the year 2000 or they're just 2000 order forms?
They're order forms from the years.
So first of all, if I was you guys and that persisted after the shushing, I would have gotten a manager because I'm
Yeah,
like, this is
but then
not
I would have
okay.
missed some of the movie.
I would
Yeah.
have been okay with it because it's Solo.
So, but we didn't know that. at the time.
Excuse me,
but-
I like that movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Have you seen
but,
Free Solo? That's a good one.
But I saw Bohemian Rhapsody in IMAX, and I would have regretted not seeing that in the theaters. It was.
That's
much
a
better
movie I
experience.
feel like I
Sonically
didn't
or
need
what?
to see in
Why?
theaters.
It's a much more immersive experience because the screen is bigger, the sound is better, and it was also IMAX. It's one of those few things like I like Baby Driver.
How big was his teeth in the IMAX?
It was like 3 of your heads.
gap? You could
Yeah.
drive a Volkswagen Beetle
Yeah.
through the gap of his
yeah,
teeth.
he's got real big teeth.
I didn't. That's some. If anybody has gaps in their teeth, I apologize.
You can be
It's
famous
not-
too, like
No,
Michael Strahan.
Gaps in the
and
teeth aren't a
Freddie
bad thing. It
Mercury.
just makes it flossing way easier.
I love gap tooth and I love messed up teeth. Who did I tell this to?
You mentioned it mildly to me, but never.
Yeah, because you're
I'm-
actually attracted to girls with teeth who are messed up.
I am. Not like dirty teeth, like a clean mouth, yeah, duh. But like girls with interesting teeth or guys with interesting teeth. I love it.
I get that.
broken people like broken people.
Nah,
Hey,
there's
hey.
that. Hey, you know what? You know what you could do if you don't want to go to theaters anymore. I do live in an apartment that has a movie theater that you can rent
Actually-
for free. You just have to tell them ahead of
really?
time. And no one, Cam's the only one who has utilized this. We watched Infinity War for the second
I
time
was
in that theater.
I was
yeah, you
supposed-
drank 5 beers while we were there. It was just.
Is it a nice theater? Dude?
It's okay. So when the lights are on, it looks like when the lights are off and you don't see the like theater part of it, the screen's nice and the sound is good, and that's all that matters. And the seats are comfy, but like it's not kept up nice.
So
but
it's
that
it's
doesn't
basically
matter.
like if a rich person had their personal theater in the basement, it's like that, but not
kind
well kept.
of, yeah. Like you don't really keep it up, but like the sound is good and the screen is good. So I mean, if we ever want to
Is
do,
it
we
the
can-
same
dude.
cost as going to a theater, or is it a little?
There-
no,
it's
it's
free.
free. With my HOA, I just tell them, hey, if it's not being
And you
used
watch
this
your own
weekend,
selection.
yeah, and then you
have
just
to
bring your
your
movie
own.
in,
You have to bring your
and you
own
play
movie.
it, and you have like a 5-hour time frame that you like rent it on, and there you go.
Oh,
like,
we could totally watch
That's
Austin
pretty cool.
Powers.
No, not Austin Powers in the theater.
That is
I want to
actually
watch a
really
horror
cool.
movie in there.
Yeah, a horror movie would be cool. So yeah, like I contemplate going by myself sometimes because there's a movie where I'm like, I would have
Just want it to
loved to
look
seen
better.
this in theaters, and I didn't get to, and then
Baby Driver was one for me. The sound,
Yeah.
I know it sounds lame, but the soundtrack was so amazing for Baby Driver. That would have been much better to see.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's movie talk with Wreck My Podcast.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys get
Cool,
to it.
thank you.
Guys,
So we're
get
pouring
home safe.
we're pouring full glasses of bourbon for this one, right?
Yeah, that whole 16 ounces of bourbon is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Craig, I very much agree with you. By the way, I love going to the movies.
I
that
used
experience.
to. No, like, just.
Hey, did you guys hear a buzz?
Yes.
Yes.
That's brand new. Where did that come from? That wasn't in the last one.
How much did you pay for it?
Hang on.
Cam's off.
Oh, that's Cam. I just turned it.
That was me, and I was
Hang
off,
on.
and now I'm
1,
back on.
2.
God damn it, man.
It's Krager's.
Oh, sorry, guys.
You buzzing?
Hey, you want to jump over to that one?
I don't want to, but I will.
Why not? You like your phallic shape?
I love this mic.
Jump over to the other one, or we want better quality. But you guys didn't hear it on the last one, right?
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
I wonder if it came when you turned it off and turned it back on.
Ah,
When you
could
did
be.
that?
Yeah, when I turned this off.
Yeah.
I did that just to kill our mics. I guess I could have turned everything down on here. I guess I'll do that next time.
How is the levels on this one? I feel
Here,
like
hang
I'm
on one
quiet.
sec.
I feel like I'm quieter.
Yeah, you are.
I'm talking. There are noises.
You know what? Do the other one, because here's the thing.
Doing the other one. Doing the other one.
Yeah, put that one back real quick. So here's the thing about this. So we have them turned up all the way, right?
Yeah.
If we listen back to where we would be listening, like if you turn it down a little bit and then you listen back to like what you would actually be listening to a thing on, you don't really hear it.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Definitely. Yeah, I turned my headphones down a little bit, and I can't hear it no more.
You can't hear you? Oh, because I turned you down. I keep turning you down instead of. There you go.
I can hear me now.
You know what? The reason why that one wasn't turning up when I was turning you up is
You're
because
just-
I was turning the wrong one up.
Oh,
So maybe we
nice.
should switch it out then.
Yeah, do it.
Sorry. Yeah, there you go. That's
turned it off.
good.
Nice. Yeah, and the buzz is gone.
Yeah, there's a wedge in there.
Buzz Lightyear.
There.
Buzz.
Say it again.
Buzz Lightyear.
There you go. Okay, cool. So
Light beer.
let's talk about Captain Marvel, all right? Oh,
All right.
my picture went away. Look how tiny this picture is. It's so funny. Okay, hang on. I got to make sure.
Yeah, look how weird this is. My freaking Facebook app won't because I have it on like if I don't use an app like within a
yeah.
certain amount of time it like technically undownloads, but it'll
Right.
re-download really quickly to save space.
It's bizarre.
But my Facebook app isn't working.
All right, so you guys ready to do this?
Yep.
Wreck My Podcast.